Hey, it's Liz from Book Learning. Welcome back. We need to talk for a minute about Abraham Lincoln. Oh my goodness. It says a lot about a nonfiction writer when you reach the end of the book and you know what's going to happen, but you still almost cry. And that's what happened to me. Uh, Doris Kearns Goodwin wrote this gigantic book. It's like 750 odd pages. Team of rivals, focusing on the political genius of Abraham Lincoln. So it is a sweeping biography, not just of Abraham Lincoln, but of many of his compatriots: Seward, Chase, Bates, Stanton, and other important characters in the Civil War. And the huge scope of the work, I know, can put some people off. My friend Kyle started reading this book, and he just couldn't get past the first chunk of it, where Goodwin is introducing you systematically to 5 different main characters simultaneously. So it jumps around a lot, and I buddy read this with my dog Marcus. No, with Candace at Beacon Hill Books. And once we got to around page 200 or so, I started calling this a Tarantino film because it was so much exposition, but it was so worth it to have that deep knowledge of each of these men's personalities, and then to be able to see them evolve over time. And I think that was important, not just in terms of characterization, if that's the term you can use to describe real people, but because the Civil War kind of got repetitive, it was also important from a story structure standpoint to be able to get away from the fact that Lincoln's generals wouldn't listen to him and didn't just pursue a fleeing Confederate army. Multiple times this happened, or Chase would pursue his own obsession of becoming the next president. It was important from a story perspective when we got caught in these repetitions, because you have to work with what actually happened when you're writing a nonfiction book. For Goodwin to be able to give us a little aside about Frederick Douglass meeting Lincoln and feeling for the first time in his life that someone had treated him like a man. And the imagery of that brief meeting is enough to reinforce the importance of having fought the Civil War. And by reinforcing that meaning, it helps you get through the long slog that was the Civil War. And there's so much in this book. I'm really happy that I've finished it, that I've read it. I think Candace and I picked a really good approach to reading it. We just read like a chapter a day, and I think that was a really good reading pace, because the chapters can be quite long and they're very dense. But I'm left at the end of it probably not as shocked, but feeling shocked at the absence of Lincoln in my life now. And because the book ends with his assassination and the brief epilogue kind of summarizing what happened in the lives of the other main characters, it seems appropriate. So hats off to Doris Goodwin. As always, hats off to Abraham Lincoln. Abe is bae. Sorry, husband. He is the other man in my life. Please read this book if you want a chunker to sit down with. I don't know where to go from here, basically. But I have a fiction book about Abraham Lincoln that I will get to shortly. Yeah. Amazing book. Do read it. It's great. Have I said that enough yet? Bye, guys.